And at first, I would like to share a Wasan poem written by our founder, Shinran Shonin. So please join me in gassho. Please put your palms together. 法輪法住未明音次年昭和の義学にて愛縁画量優れたり症状学を奇妙せよと The delicate, wondrous sound of jewel trees in the jewel forest are naturally pure and harmonious music, and excelled in subtlety and elegance. So take refuge in Amida, the music of purity. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda. Well, if I see your face, I instantly feels like I want to say good morning, right? But good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. Today's last service of the year 2023, and I hope everybody had a wonderful year this year. 2023 was a year of change and challenge for me and my family. But overall, this year was a good year for us. So today, this is, Joya-E is a Japanese Buddhist tradition, and we hit the bell on this New Year's Eve. And these are the pictures from my home temple a few years ago. You see how my daughter Aoi was little. But as you see, it is in the mountain, and most of the members of the temples are farmers. So my home temple used to hit the bell every day around 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. So that reminded neighbors that it is time to go to work, lunchtime, and come back home, right? But nowadays, there are various ways we can check the time. So we stopped hitting the bell, like, I don't know how long ago it was, but a few years ago. But anyway, it is said that this tradition of hitting the bell on New Year's Eve had begun in China in 13th century. And Japanese Zen monk imported this tradition from China to Japan. So this tradition of hitting bells has about 800 years of history. And we are keeping this tradition from China to Japan to United States, and we are keeping this tradition in Sacramento, California. Isn't it amazing? As Bobby said, we are welcoming 125th anniversary next year. So it's really amazing that we were able to keep this tradition for a really long time. And there are various opinions about why we hit the bell on New Year's Eve. And originally, it meant to turn the ogre or demons away. The sound of the bell scares the wild animals and bandits too, right? But in Japan, many people think that the 108 afflictions we possess will be eliminated by hitting the bell for 108 times. So people can welcome a new year with fresh feeling after hitting the bell. Do you believe it? I don't know, right? The explanation of the number 108 afflictions takes time, but it is taught in one of the commentaries called Abhidharma Kosha, written by Bodhisattva Vasubandhu from India. But it is complicated, so I don't recommend you to read Abhidharma Kosha unless you have insomnia and you need to sleep, right? But if hitting the bell eliminates the afflictions, I must be the purest person in the world, right? Because I hit the bell all the time. So there got to be another way to explain why we hit the bell for 108 times. So, I practice Chinese martial arts, and I see, and here, the number 108 in many systems of martial arts. Many of the Tai Chi schools have a form with 108 moves. There are forms named 108 in many schools. In many Okinawan karate, they have a form called Super Rinpei, which means 108. So in this case, it is not expressing the number of the afflictions, but 108 is the number which represents perfection. Perfection. So, from this understanding of the number 108 as perfection, we could understood that hitting the bell on New Year's Eve for 108 times represents the perfection of the year. Does it make sense? And that is why we hit the bell for 108 times on the last day of the year. Then, from here, this is my appreciation. But I understand the sound of the bell as the sound of the Dharma from the realm of awakening. We often rely on self-centered ideas, judgments, and values. But the sound of the bell reminds us of the reality that how foolish to rely on our self-centered ideas, which is the cause of conflicts. So, if hitting the bell is about turning ogres away, then the ogres do not exist outside of the self, but that is inside of me. Ogre is the mind of relying on the self-centered wisdom. So I must have shown this picture before, but this is the statue of Saichi Asahara, one of the person who really enjoyed the teaching of Nembutsu. And his portrait and statue has horns on the head. It doesn't mean he really had it, right? But it is said that he asked the painter to add horns on his head because he had the realization that ogre is not, outside or somebody else, but himself. And he also left many poems, and one of them said, うちのカカアの寝顔を見れば地獄の鬼にそのまんまうちの家には鬼が2匹おる男鬼に女鬼浅ましや浅ましや So this is my translation. So I hope this contains the feeling of it. But when I see the sleeping face of my wife, she just looks like the ogre from the hell. There are two ogres in our house, male ogre and female ogre. How wretched. So just in case, I'm not talking about my wife, okay? But Saichi and his wife probably quarreled many times, right? So that is why he felt his wife as an ogre. But at the same time, he had the realization that ogre is none other than himself. So if we all could eliminate the mind of relying on self-centered ideas, we could live happily and peacefully every day. But we cannot do that easily. That is why we need to listen to the sound, right? Listen to the calling, which awakes us from the delusion of always thinking as I'm right. So the sound of the bell is like the alarm in the morning. It is the sound waking us up to the reality of ourselves. So how many more hours left? There's only 6 hours and 30 minutes left until the end of this year. But I hope we reflect on our actions of this year and welcome a new year with the fresh feeling, with listening to the sound of the bell. So thank you all for coming to today's service. And in closing, please join me in a show. Please put your palms together. The delicate, wondrous sounds of the jewel trees in the jewel forests are naturally pure and harmonious music. I excelled in subtlety and elegance, so take refuge in Amida, the music of purity. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Nam. And today, as you see, we have a few musical instruments here. And Koichi and Eri Mizushima kindly offered the help to offer entertainment for us. So I'm going to play bass guitar and guitar. Koichi is going to play piano and sing, and Eri is going to sing, right? So it's going to be interesting, because we practice how many times? Two times. Yeah, 2 times together. So hopefully you enjoy the music. But thank you. Let's see.
brought all this stuff out, we figured we'd do one more, right? We had to haul out all the gear. Hopefully this is another song that you all know. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.